Hello, Colts Nation. What up, No Horsing family? Welcome back to an episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Burton. And you got our instant reaction. You kind of got our feelings about the game. But what you haven't gotten yet is what we're going to cover today. What I wanted to cover, I talked to Zach about it last night. You heard a little bit of scuttle today. You kind of heard Dan Orlovsky and Rex Ryan, and they all kind of said the same thing, is Jonathan Taylor 2021 NFL MVP. Is it even possible? We're going to talk about it today, but before we get to that, like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. We're gaining a few more followers every day. I love it. I think it's 635. The goal is 650, I think is what we were shooting for. Join the family, man. It's down in the corner. Join the family, subscribe. And then, like I said, let me hear your comments. Let me hear what you have to think, what you have to say about this. We did a video a while back that said he was the best running back in the NFL. I had him above a healthy Derrick Henry, and I got a little bit of tighten up times and all sorts of stuff. I have him sitting there as the number one running back in the NFL right now. And I think he is definitely in the mix, like we're going to get to, about being the MVP, most valuable player. Okay. So let's get to this. Most valuable player is different to different people. Okay. Kind of the list, if you guys watch the bottom, some of the favorites: Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Stafford, Herbert, Mahomes, Murray, Jackson. And then you have Jonathan Taylor coming in at 10. This is as of this I think today, as of the recording of this today, these are where the odds are sitting. He's kind of catapulted himself up there. But notice a theme, you guys. Notice a theme as we go through this. They're all quarterbacks. I mean, Tom Brady, as of the recording of this, he's got a pick. He's thrown multiple picks in games. Josh Allen, we saw what he did. Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Stafford. I worry with him. Herbert, too young. Mahomes is always there. Kyler Murray, I think he's out of it because he's been injured too frequently. Lamar Jackson, same thing. You start looking through these. But here's the thing. Let's delve a little deeper here. Jonathan Taylor's stats this year: 193 carries, 1,122 yards, 13 touchdowns. Also 32 receptions, 322 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. I believe he's the third leading receiver on our team right now in regards to yards. It's insane. I mean, no one's on this level, okay? The Colts are 6-5. They are 6-0 when Jonathan Taylor rushes for 100 yards. They're 0-5 when he doesn't, okay? In his last 17 games, you guys, 312 carries, 1,863 yards, 20 touchdowns, okay? I saw a great thing. I think it was Zach Kiefer put it out. He leads in his last 17 games, all the rushing categories except for 2, yards and carries, and that's owned by Derrick Henry, okay? So is it possible? I mean, he is so important to the Colts. He is the epitome of value. He is the most valuable player right now on the Colts. When he rushes for 100 yards, they win. When he doesn't, they lose. It's that simple. It is that simple, you guys. I mean, you just look at some of his stats and some of the stuff that you see that he puts out. I mean, last 8 games, Dolphins, 114, 1 touch. Ravens, 169, 2 touches. Texans, these are total yards, not rushing, I'm sorry. Texans, 158, 2 touches. Niners, 110, 1 touch. Titans, 122, 1 touch. Jets, 200, 2 touches. Jaguars, 126, 1 touch. And the Bills, 204 and 5 touchdowns. I mean, the guy's he's ridiculous right now. He's the epitome of what an MVP is. He is that valuable to the Colts and to the team, okay? But here's the deal. We're talking about him as the MVP. Is it possible? I think so. I got a lot of argument, a lot of blowback from my buddy Adam Raymer over at Tighten Up Time when we talked about this today, because Derrick Henry rushed for over 2,000 yards and couldn't sniff it last year. Didn't even get a chance. I think there's a difference, though, okay? As you watch the scroll on the bottom and you see these players who are ahead of him in the odds, they all have flaws. None of them are having this otherworldly season. So we looked it up last year. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, had 48, do I say 45 touchdowns and like 5 picks, something ridiculous. He just had an otherworldly season, and there was no way they weren't going to give it to him. It's a quarterback award 9 times out of 10. They're going to search for a reason to give it a quarterback. But as you look through, Tom Brady's had downs. Josh Allen has definitely had downs. Dak Prescott has had downs. Aaron Rodgers has missed multiple games. Matthew Stafford has had downs. Herbert, his team's not winning enough. Mahomes is there, but he's done a lot of picks. Murray's been out. So has Jackson. Like, they all have flaws. If not this year, when? Depending on if he keeps up this rate. But is there a precedent for this? Okay. Is there an actual precedent? So here's the deal, you guys. Running backs have not won this award. The last 2, one was in 2012 with Adrian Peterson, okay? And one was in 2006 with LaDainian Tomlinson. Those are the last 2. Now let's get some comparison, okay? Let's get a little perspective on them. In 2012, Adrian Peterson rushed for over 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. I mean, it was kind of like his virtuoso performance. It was ridiculous. He almost set the single season rushing record that year, right? And then in 2006 with LaDainian Tomlinson, he rushed for 1,800 yards and had 28 touchdowns. He also had, I believe, 3 receiving. He set the record, 31 touchdowns. So for a running back to win this award, it's got to be like otherworldly. And at the same time, you got to have some players who are ahead of him who are having down seasons, who are not having, like, you're not seeing this otherworldly, just insane amount of talent. What's funny to me is when you look at the odds, there's one player on here who I was kind of surprised it's not on here. Is Kirk Cousins. I'm just going to toss it out there. Dude has I think it's like 21-2, something ridiculous, 23-2 on his touchdown to interception ratio. So, I mean, is it possible? Absolutely. I think it is absolutely possible when you look at where he's at right now. 1,100 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, 15 total touchdowns. He's at almost 1,400 total yards. I mean, do I think it's possible? Absolutely. I mean, you guys, he became one of, I think, what was it? He tied LaDainian Tomlinson for most consecutive I'm trying to see it really quickly for you guys. He tied LaDainian Tomlinson for, there it is, running backs with 5 touchdowns in the game. No, that's not it. I can't find it. There it is. He tied an NFL record with 8 straight games of 100 scrimmage yards and a rushing touchdown. LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and Lydell Mitchell in 1975. Okay. I mean, it's just, and then on top of that, he's become one of 4 Colts running backs with multiple seasons with 10 rush touchdowns. That's Edgerrin James, Jonathan Taylor, Joseph Adai, Marshall Faulk. Edgerrin did it 4 times. Taylor's already done it twice. Adai only did it twice, and Marshall Faulk did it twice. Dude, he's in great company. I mean, I think it's a very real possibility. If he maintains the pace he's on, okay, he's going to end up with about 1,800 yards. 20. I think he's perfectly on pace for 20-plus total touchdowns. He's already at 15. I think it's possible. It's a year that everyone's down. If the Colts continue to win and he continues to put up those numbers, yeah, Jonathan Taylor could very easily end up being in the conversation right there as an MVP candidate this year. I think he has a very real possibility. We may do a video on this to be an offensive player of the year. I think he's going to rack up some awards. He's going to rack up some awards this year. He's going to make people think twice about who the best running back in the NFL is going into 2022. Okay. So he'd get my vote. Like I said earlier, please, you guys, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's possible that he could win the MVP? I want to hear from you guys. You know, I want to hear what your perspective is. Like I said, please subscribe. If you're subscribed, thank you so much. If you got a friend who's not, tell them to. Friends don't let friends not subscribe to No Horsing Around. I got nothing left, you guys. Okay, I love you. Zach loves you. Jonathan Taylor loves you. And he's going to might possibly be the MVP in 2021.